Alright guys, welcome back to the Bang No Boy Variety channel. Today's video, what we're going to be doing is gun showcase part 8, I believe. Nearing the end of the gun, well we already are off the gun wall, but we're nearing the end of the guns. Here. We don't need to be wondering about any of this stuff that you see over here because that is for something else that I'm doing. All the guns we have here today are not of the Nerf gun category. Forgot something real quick. Yeah, so like I said, we don't have any Nerf gun category weapons here, so that shoot any projectiles up, so we will not need to be using that stuff over there. Just pay no attention to that. And obviously you can look at it, but bring your attention to me for now. So we're going to be starting out with our 5 guns here. We have 2 more guns that are considered dualies that count as 1, so just be prepared for that. We'll start off with our first weapon here. Dollar store gun. This comes with a police kit, a little kid play police kit. This is what I'm going to be using as an umpire pistol whenever we need to play any sort of umpire role, such as starting a wrestling match. That's most likely what it's going to be used for if I remember to use it. There will be some wrestling matches in my channel. Now, let me explain some real quick like that. Since I don't have anyone to obviously wrestle with, it doesn't mean I'm alone in life. It's just I don't have access to that right at the moment. So I'm going to have a wrestling match with myself. Now, that you're probably going to think that's going to be incredibly stupid. But I mean, you might think that, but I have wrestling matches myself. I can put in a lot of good moves, and I can simulate 2 people with 1 person, such as myself. We'll get to that after I finish all the guns out. We'll be explaining about all the fights that we're going to have on this channel. That's what this is going to be for. It's going to have a simple. It's not going to fire anything, just a blank. It's just going to. Either you can start the match by the click or by a sound. Next weapon here is an acid shooter. So actually it's a water gun that still functions as a water gun, but I took the little hammer part out, ripped that out, so that it would be easier to fill up than filling it up here. And up here is actually where you're going to insert your acid cartridge. And you're going to pop that back into place, and you're ready to spray acid at your enemy. We're going to put in a clone here, and you're going to see a little bit of what I can do simulating 2 people. Ah! So that works pretty good. Obviously, a real person would not die as fast as that. They would be screaming and wriggling around on the floor. Obviously, because that's going to be quite painful. Next, these are the 2 weapons that are considered dualies that count as 1. Legends of the Wild West toy revolvers. Cap guns. The caps that these take are these caps that are wound into a spool. So the caps that are wound into a spool, this is the packs. You get 600 caps, which is in the form of 6 100 caps per. This is the form of 100 caps per spool, and you get 6 of those spools, giving you 600 caps. These are, I'm not going to put any in because they are quite hard to put in, and they do not feed well all the time. So I do rarely use these cap guns as cap guns, but they are used for that sometimes. So that's that. That's what those look like. I have a bunch of these. I'm sure you could buy them somewhere. So yeah, that's that. But basically, the way that how you do that, you're gonna lift that up. You're gonna put your caps in there, and it's gonna feed, and it's a double action. But however, when I do use it as a brown gun, you're going to take your cartridges, they're inside this shell, and you're going to pour them into there like so. And then it is going to feed them into a little feed system, which is going to feed the bullets out of there. Just little bullet balls. That's all that these are. So we're going to do a fire here. Now, like I said, this is double action, so you can pull the hammers back every time. Or fan it. Or you could just do the heavier trigger pull version of the double action. So that is that. Okay? And take us into our next cap gun here. It's a very short cap gun. By pulling, another way I use this, I take this off. This is when you fire it regularly. And then this is a suppressor when you put that back on there. We're going to be taking this off today and firing it as normal and then putting on the suppressor. So you pull on this, pull it out. It's going to open that up. This, I don't have any of these caps at my disposal. You can buy them at the dollar store for $1. You put them on here. They're ring caps. They're in a ring. You just place each ring on there. It'll fit in perfect like that. They'll go right on top. There's 8 of them. Then you're going to take this like that. And this is this is single action. Actually, there's no hammer. You just pull the trigger. You can't pull the hammer. Now, you can strike a cap with the hammer, so technically it is double action like that. But you cannot pull it back to where it locks in place, because no matter where you pull it back to, it's going to fly forward again. So just pull the trigger. So, this, if this was not when this is not being used as a cap gun, it is shooting 22 LR shells, or the more powerful 22 LR shells. Obviously, since it's so short, it's going to have a little bit more recoil than a 22 LR pistol would with a longer barrel. Okay. Going to remove that cylinder. New one. Put that in like that. Now, obviously, you could buy more cylinders by buying another one of these guns. I don't know if you can just get basic cylinders. Suppressor. That is that. And then our final weapon. This weapon has seen an extreme remastery, which now makes it a weapon that works differently than it's supposed to. So, when this gun was in its original form, the form was a dollar store gun that looked like an Uzi. That's before it had all these parts on it. So I'm going to explain what it went through in the remastering process. So I took this piece of metal here. I put 2 stainless washers underneath the screw. Then I put the screw in. I had these edges rounded so they're not sharp. I put a knob on here with a nut and a screw. The screw's built into the knob, but I put a nut on there to keep it tight. So that's how you can grab onto this to move it. So it's obviously easier to use if there wasn't a knob on there. So basically, into the battery compartment of the gun, there's a shell right here. It has a layer of bullets into it. You're gonna stick it on top of where the battery would go in, which is actually where the shell fits onto. And the whole purpose of this piece of metal is just to keep the shell from falling out. Now, there's two actions this gun can fire. I put this on the end too. There are 2 actions this gun can fire in. So it's gonna have a little part out there, but I cut that off to put this on. So this will have 2 actions. You get 15 shots, semi-automatic. So you're going to take that out, put a new one in. Now we're going to fire it full auto. You press these 2 buttons at the top. And that is that. So guys, thank you for tuning in to Gun Showcase Part 8.